Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got a huge story unfolding today. ESPN has officially parted ways with longtime NFL analyst Ryan Clark, the former player who also co-hosts the Pivot podcast. For many people, the announcement was surprising, but it wasn't completely unexpected. Over the past several months, a growing number of fans had been urging ESPN to move on from Clark, and today we're going to break down exactly how everything reached this point. Over the last year, Clark has been involved in several major controversies. One of the biggest was his very public feud with former NFL quarterback Robert Griffin III, an exchange that left plenty of viewers frustrated. He also drew criticism after speaking about the way rookie quarterback Shrager Sanders was being treated by his team, arguing that his limited opportunities had more to do with race than performance, while noting that Dylan Gabriel continued to receive the reps instead. Then came the Kyren Lacy situation. Lacy, the former LSU wide receiver, was someone Clark knew on a personal level. By most accounts, he looked at him almost like a younger brother, and the two reportedly trained together at Clark's gym before Lacy's career ended in tragedy. After new video evidence surfaced that raised questions about Lacy's role in a deadly car crash, Clark said on air that Lacy had died an innocent man. Not long afterward, law enforcement released additional footage that complicated that conclusion, leading Clark to later retract those comments and apologize during a broadcast. According to multiple reports, however, the incident that ultimately became the tipping point was a tense on-air exchange with fellow ESPN analyst Peter Shrager. While discussing the Eagles' victory over the Cowboys, Clark turned to Shrager during the debate and remarked, "That's the non-player in you," referring to the fact that Shrager never played in the NFL. The comment drew criticism from viewers and reportedly didn't sit well with ESPN executives, with many believing it became the final fracture in an already strained relationship. So, with all of that in mind, let's rewind and take a closer look at how each of these moments played out.
Okay, you look at A.J. Brown, which is this #1 wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb.
But that's the when was the one target?
That's the target.
But
though.
I'm saying
when
was the one target?
I'm saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown had a better day than CeeDee Lamb.
But you know what you wake up saying though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course.
Right, like that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this though, and we shouldn't do this on TV, and so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, stop! That CeeDee Lamb is.
Let me tell you why. I'm not looking at fantasy football,
Ryan. I'm not. Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing, and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee. Sad and tragic when I thought he died under the weight of handling the guilt that he unknowingly played a part in someone losing their lives. It's even more tragic that I know he died as an innocent man who knew he was innocent, but was dealing with the consequences of someone guilty of what he had been accused of. And let's be clear, Kyren Lacy is innocent, but on December 17th, 2 people lost their lives. Obviously, Herman Hall, and condolences and prayers to his family, because this man fought in 2 Vietnam wars, and the very thing he fought for, right, which was the rights and the privileges and the due diligence of the courts as it pertains to American citizens, didn't even happen in his death. They didn't even honor him that way. It was true lies. It was true railroading. It was true framing. It was Tyler Werner, the state police, who was coaching witnesses into telling them or into saying that it was Kyren's car involved in the crash. All he saw was a young black man, right? He didn't see Kenny, and he didn't see Candace's son. He didn't see a brother. He didn't see a teammate. He didn't see a boyfriend. He didn't see somebody who truly was a part of the community. So they stole his joy, they stole his career, and eventually they took his life.
When you look at a guy like Joe Burrow, right, and where he is ranked,
They don't take into account how much he's been injured or how little he's played, how awful his team has been as a whole. They look at Joe Burrow when he is on the field, what he has accomplished, and they rank him by that. They rank him by the feeling they get when Joe Burrow is healthy, when Jamar Chase is there, when T. Higgins is there. The same exact thing should go for Lamar Jackson. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, there is no more accomplished quarterback in the entire NFL individually. There's no quarterback who carries more than Lamar Jackson. There's no quarterback who's asked to do more than Lamar Jackson. There's no quarterback who you have to have a game plan for in the run game. You have to have a game plan for in the pass game. And then you have to have a secondary game plan for when he does Lamar Jackson type stuff. And so when you take his career as a whole, if I'm a player, the way I'm voting is this. If this dude is healthy, how much do I fear him? If this dude is healthy, how difficult is it to game plan for him throughout the week? And we talked about some of the disrespect he has gotten. That's disrespect I expected. I expected executives to not know where to place him. I expected marketers and brands to not understand the power of his voice. What I didn't. This started 3 years ago. I did my ESPN deal. It wasn't what I wanted. You know, like I realized it's like I had to do more. And like honestly, I felt played. And you know, the worst thing for anybody that's from New Orleans is to feel played. But I felt like I deserved something that they didn't feel like I deserved. And so I set out that day and I said that day that in 3 years, I'll be the best in the world doing this. That there'll be no stone left unturned. I leave no doubt that there was nobody in the world that was like me. So I started my own stuff, bro. Like I started to pivot. I did the work. I got on the road. You know, I went to every show they put me on and made sure I crushed it. And so now, here we are again. The season's over. Inside the NFL is finished. And somebody got to pay the piper.
So, why am I showing you this clip? Because reports claim that Ryan Clark was informed of his dismissal while he was still on the set of NFL Live, before the broadcast had fully wrapped up. According to a Yahoo report, he received the news during production, and for him, the show was essentially over at that point. If that's how everything unfolded, it's certainly an unusual way for a career at a major network to come to an end. Over the years, plenty of critics have accused Ryan Clark of using race as a recurring theme in his commentary rather than focusing strictly on the issues themselves. At the same time, Clark has never been shy about expressing his opinions, and we even saw him apologize to Peter Shrager after their on-air disagreement. But here's the reality: an apology doesn't always change the outcome. Sometimes a network allows the public apology, lets the controversy settle, and still follows through with a decision that may have already been made. That raises the question, was the apology simply heartfelt, or was it also an attempt to limit the fallout? The exchange with Shrager became the defining moment. When Clark said, "That's the non-player in you," it struck a nerve because it touched on a long-running debate across sports media. The belief that analysts who never played professionally don't carry the same credibility as former athletes. It's an argument that surfaced for years, with some insisting that first-hand locker room experience gives former players a perspective others simply can't match. And that wasn't the only controversy surrounding him. His public back and forth with Robert Griffin III also generated plenty of attention and added to the criticism he was already facing. At the end of the day, it's understandable why anyone would want to protect their career and their paycheck. But if the decision had already been made behind the scenes weeks or even months in advance, it's hard to believe any public apology would have changed the result. And if those reports are accurate, handling the situation during a live production instead of privately sends a message all by itself. Looking ahead, Ryan Clark still has the pivot, and this could end up becoming an opportunity to expand that platform even more. We've watched personalities like Shannon Sharpe build successful independent brands, proving that creating your own audience can provide far more control than relying on a television network. In some cases, those same networks eventually become interested in partnering with creators rather than employing them outright. It seems like sometimes moments like this become the motivation to build something that's entirely your own. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.